And now, dear grade 10 students, we are going to learn how to find the principal value of an angle and then to plot it. Here is an angle alpha that measures 2420, which is a large value indeed. Now, how to find the principal value for this angle alpha? And remember that the principal value should be a value in the interval minus 180, 180. So the measurement that we care about belongs to this interval. Now let's start by the steps. First step, we should divide 2420 by 360. Now why 360? Because as I told you previously, that 360 corresponds to 2 pi, which is indeed equivalent or coincident with 0. So as if every time we move 360, as if we are moving one complete term and returning back to 0. That's why we usually divide the given measurement by 360. Now here, dividing by 360, the answer is 6.722, etc. We have to round this answer to the nearest unit before the decimal point, and we get 7. Now since we get a larger number, then obviously when subtracting 2420 minus 7 into, we make this way, we subtract the given measurement minus the rounded answer here multiplied by 360. So definitely we are going to get a number that's negative, because when rounding 6.7 to 7, we are getting a larger number. So 7 times 360 is going to be larger than 2420, and definitely the answer will be in the negative value. That never minds, because all what I care about is my answer that should be belonging to the interval minus 180, 180. So it must be an angle that measures a value between minus 180 and 180. So this is what we call the principal value PV of 2420. Now if we have to locate the endpoint of the arc that measures the same as alpha, all what we have to do is to construct a circle, and we look at the sign here. If it's negative, then we move in the negative sense to use the protractor to mark 100 degrees, but in the negative sense as you see here. Okay, the negative sense is the clockwise sense. Another example on how to find the principal value here is 760. Again, let's record the steps. Let's recall together. First of all, we divide the given value by 360. We get an answer. We round this answer to the nearest unit. For example, here it is 2.1. Then rounding will be 2. And then when multiplying 2 by 360, we'll get an answer that's less than the given value, because we moved from 2.1 into 2 after rounding. The value is less. So definitely we are going to get a positive value. So 760 minus multiplying 2 by 360 will give 40 degrees. And this is what we call the principal value of 760. If I'm going to plot the endpoint of the arc of measurement 760, again I draw a circle, but here I have to move in the anti-clockwise direction in the positive sense, because the given measurement or the final measurement of the principal value is in positive. So we just measure 40 degrees and we plot the endpoint of the arc. Recall, here is always the start point of any arc on the trigonometric circle. And more examples. Here alpha is 1100. Now dividing again by 360, we get 3.055. Now rounding, we get 3. And now subtracting the initial given value minus the given answer after rounding into 360, we get 20 here. And the principal value is then 20. Now plotting it on the circle again, because it's in the positive value, so we move in the positive sense, and by this we plot the endpoint of the arc of measurement 1100. More examples. Here alpha is 260, which is a value less than 360, but it's not a principal value because it's more than 180. Now again, the same way we divide 260 by 360, we get 0.722. When rounding, we get 1. Then actually we are going to get a negative answer because when rounding, we get a value greater than the actual value. So 260 minus 1 into 360 will give minus 100, and thus minus 100 is the principal value. Again, we are going to locate the endpoint of the arc of measurement minus 100, so we just mark 100 or measure 100, but in the clockwise sense, which is the negative sense.